All right, man. Torture Talk. Hey, man, the king is in the building. How y'all doing today, man? I hope everybody's good. I hope everybody's well. I hope everybody's blessed. Thank y'all for being here with me. This is Torture Talk. You know what I'm saying? The king of the north, all that good stuff. The sexy lady lover. You know what I'm saying? Love some beautiful women, man. If you don't like a beautiful woman, I don't know what's wrong with you. You know what I'm saying? I like to wake up next to a beautiful woman. I'm sorry. She got to look good. She got to look good. I got to be like, God damn, when I wake up, I got to look at her for a little bit like this. Like, oh, man, she's so damn fine. That's how I do, man. You know what I'm saying? I like beautiful girls, man. I like beautiful girls with nice teeth, nice feet, nice nails. You know what I'm saying? Big butts, big breasts. Let me stop playing. Anyway, look. So today's episode, we're going to talk about Kanye West giving us some sort of an apology to Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? And this is very interesting. So we're going to get into that. Before I got to get into that, you know I got to get my spill. This is Torture Talk if you're new here. If you're new here, this is Torture Talk. If you like the content, please consider subscribing. If you're new here, let me work for your subscription today. All the beautiful, single, sexy ladies with nice feet, nice nails, nice hair, all that good stuff, nice eyelashes, one in the chat. All the fellas, y'all know how to find the ones at. Just don't harass them. I don't sell no merch, but I do have content absolutely free. But if you want to leave a donation, link is in the description. Cash App, no more PayPal. They call me the hidden gem. 13 subscribers over 13, 14, 15, 16, and almost 17,000. On the 25,000 subscriber, I will be giving away a nice size cash prize. And yes, I am the king of the north. Let me know what kingdom you from. And at the end of every episode, I try to do a question. If I remember, you know what I'm saying? Make it something interesting. Just might have nothing to do with the episode. But yeah, let's get to it, man. All right, man. So look, this comes courtesy of Chink Smooth. You know what it is. Let's get it, man.
For a while, I just subscribed to your.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy BREAD Fox reporting from the Chicks Universe, and today we are talking about none other than this man, Kanye West. So, of course, ever since Kanye got his Twitter back, it seems like every single day this guy is tweeting something completely off the wall. You would think that after somebody has been acting so insane and narcissistic, there's nothing that they could say that could shock you or make you feel like, man, this guy went too far. Because it seems like this guy has went as far as you can. Well, last month, Kanye actually tweeted a series of tweets that were extremely demeaning and disrespectful and vulgar, just to say the least.
Now, I seen those tweets, and I think that was very horrible, that what he said about Jay-Z's children. Very, very disrespectful. Very disrespectful. I mean, we just got to say it. Kanye West is an attention whore. That's all he is. At this point, his music doesn't even matter no more. He just wants to be seen. I wouldn't be surprised if something happens to him if he does something to himself, because it's going to get to a point where you don't have enough attention on you that you got to put more attention on you. And usually that's the type of behavior that people like him display. Eventually they end up wanting themselves, if you know what I mean. But let's keep it going.
And those tweets were directed at none other than Jay-Z and his family, in particular, his kids. Even for Kanye's standards, it was extremely below the belt. And there wasn't one person in the world who was in support of anything that he did that day. I'll summarize what he was saying. Pretty much what he was saying is that he was not making light, but he was highlighting the fact that Jay-Z may have special needs children. But of course, the way that he highlighted it was not in the best manner, and it has zero sensitivity involved whatsoever. He even went as far as to use the R word. Now, reportedly, when Jay-Z and Beyonce both found out about Kanye's rant about their children, they were extremely furious and absolutely appalled. Even his ex-wife, Kim Kardashian, was appalled, and a report...
Well, I know people say that insiders say that they were mad. I mean, that's something that I think anybody would run a story and say that I could get on there and say, yeah, I got an inside source that said Jay-Z and Beyonce was mad that Kanye said that. Doesn't make it true, because obviously if you're a parent, you're going to be mad that someone says that about your child. So when people say I have an inside source and these magazines say that, yeah, that's a no-brainer. They're gonna be mad. They're gonna be mad. That's a no-brainer. You know what I'm saying? That's a no-brainer. But yeah, let's keep it going.
Tina Knowles, Beyonce's mother, was extremely appalled as well. So that led to rumors that Jay-Z and Beyonce were threatening to use legal action against Kanye. A few weeks later, we have tweets from Kanye essentially apologizing to Jay-Z. Now, I know a lot of you are wondering, how would Jay-Z even be able to sue Kanye for those tweets? It's actually very interesting, right? I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with the fact that defamation of character is something that you can sue somebody over. However, what a lot of people may not know is that defamation of character actually becomes even more serious when it involves children. So, Kanye...
I don't know if that's actually true. I know the defamation part is true, but I don't know if you can sue somebody over their opinion. It's not that he's spreading a lie about you. He's giving an opinion. Calling somebody the R word. And again, let me say this. I don't agree with Kanye. I don't agree with what he's saying. I'm just giving him some pushback on that whole thing because I believe that if they had a chance to sue him, they probably would have. And I don't think that Jay-Z and Beyonce handles that. I think that they publicists and whoever handles this. And I think that, yeah, well, maybe obviously it's their children that would handle a portion of it. But I think that they would have definitely had interest in suing him if that was the case. But I don't know. Maybe they'd see that he was going through an episode or something. I don't know. Me personally, if I was Jay-Z and them and I could sue, I probably would have. Because you don't say that about my children. But I'm saying I don't know if I think defamation is very difficult to prove in some cases if you are one, if something's wrong with you mentally, and two, if if you're saying it as an opinionated base, not a fact. You know what I'm saying? So let's keep it going.
Making those remarks about Jay-Z's children, if it is not 100% fact, could easily lead to Kanye being sued and losing millions of dollars. Why?
That's actually not true either, because you're basically saying if they sue Kanye, if Kanye made a statement that's true, he could not be sued, right? That's what you're saying. But if he made a statement that is an opinion and it's not true, he can already. So what happens if he made a statement and it was true, but they didn't like that he put it out there? Can he be sued for that too? So I don't know. I'm just asking questions. I don't know. Let's keep it going.
Because what he said was pretty much that the children are the R word. Now, granted, they may have some type of learning disabilities, but that does not automatically grant them or put them in the category as the R word. So it would be actually very, very difficult for Kanye to even backtrack from those tweets and prove that he wasn't trying to state something as fact, because he doesn't know the facts of exactly if they do have any disabilities, what those disabilities are. And that automatically can be used to prove damages. We don't know if
I understand what he's saying, but again, it goes back to freedom of speech, and it goes back to, if you on Twitter, there's a lot of people who say a lot of different things, right? I understand what he's saying, but at the same time, you got to understand that he's saying that if they sit here and say that he was defaming or talking slander on their children or whatever, you know what I'm saying, defamation of their children, I understand what he's saying. But at the same time, you have to think about it from this point of view. If Kanye West is giving his opinion about their children, even though it's egregious, what can you really say about it? You know what I'm saying? There's really nothing you can say. I don't agree with what Kanye West said, but that's like, it's kind of like how when women call each other the B word, right? If I go on Twitter and called, I don't know, Serena Williams the B word, or I don't know, Captain Zeta Jones the B word, can she sue me for that? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if it's an opinion, what can you really say? But I think that if Jay-Z and them was going to sue Kanye, they would have probably did it. I think Jay-Z would have probably sued Kanye off for something like that. I don't see why he wouldn't had sued Kanye if he could have, over calling his kids that. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong though. I'm just stating that. I don't think that he's right on this one, but it is what it is. Let's keep going.
Kanye, is finally coming down from his episode, and he's starting to realize, like, man, maybe I went too far and it was kind of not needed. This is actually what he said in regards to his apology to Jay-Z. He said, "I'm sorry, Jay-Z. I be feeling bad about my tweet, but I still feel like I gave my life to the industry. And I thought so many people were my family, but when I needed my family on some real S-word, none of these rap N-words had my back." So it seems like a lot.
All right. How do I feel about this tweet here? I understand what Kanye's coming from, because when he was going against the J community, if you know, he's going against the J community, and not Jay-Z. I understand why he felt this way, because people were saying he was crazy, and he was actually coming out saying these things. Now, a bunch of other people were saying the same thing or something similar to it. Dave Chappelle was one of them. Kanye West said his thing, and then there's a bunch of other people. But I think that Kanye West feel as though that in this instance that Jay-Z was he's one of the biggest people. That's why he highlighted Jay-Z at the top. And then he says, he's talking to Jay-Z. He's not really talking about the other rappers. He's basically saying, like, I feel like this family. Now, this does not excuse him from saying the things he said about Jay-Z's kids. I just don't think that he should have said that. I think that that's disgusting. He shouldn't have did that. This doesn't excuse that. But this is why he has probably why he's acting the way he's acting. He's acting out because he feels like he's alone. He's a grown man and he feels like he's alone. I think Kanye West is 40-something years old? I think he's like 43 or something like that, maybe older. Hey Siri, how old is Kanye West? He's 47. So he's 47. So he's almost 50 years old. And he's going through these episodes. And I think a lot of us need to understand that mental illness in this country is real. And I'll get into that at the end. And I'm gonna tell y'all my theory of what's really going on here. But let's keep it going.
Out of Kanye's gripe towards people and the industry is the fact that he feels that when Kim Kardashian divorced him and took his kids, nobody was there to help him. However, in retrospect, when you really look at it, Kanye was bugging. He was doing a lot of things that people found extremely offensive. And it was kind of like leading up to where we are today. And I felt like a lot of people could see where we were headed. So they made the smart decision and decided to distance themselves early on before things got horribly wrong. There was even a tweet saying, you know what, I'm going to stop being a Kanye fan now before he starts praising Hitler. And this was like in 2014. And wow, look at this. He's literally making a song praising Hitler. So Kanye sometimes, it seems as though he has no type of self-accountability, and we all know he's extremely narcissistic and has the craziest ego, so it makes sense, but it seems like there's no limit to his understanding. It seems like he honestly cannot compress or rationalize why people would try to distance themselves from him, which is absolutely insane in itself. He even went on to continue to add more tweets, and then he said, "Do Beyonce even let Jay ever get some pussy?" I mean, at least a couple of times. And I guess like he's just trying to be funny. And I guess in a sense it could be funny, but the messenger of the message is just like, it's just not messaging. You get what I'm saying? It's like, bro, we're not really trying to hear no jokes from you. Like nothing you can say right now is even close to funny. So it's like Kanye is really, really conflicted in what he wants to do. It's as if because he doesn't have his family anymore, he wants to see the entire world burn, which I understand how somebody could feel that way if they lost their family. But at the same time, maybe the person you should be angry at, not to sound cliche, but is yourself. Maybe it's time to really look within. If you really love your family, you would put in the work to make sure that you can be there for them. But That's just me, and that's how I'm viewing it. And plus, I'm viewing it from the outside looking in. This is probably an extremely complicated situation with a lot of intricacies that a lot of people probably cannot see. So, for that reason, I'm always going to reserve my judgment. But at the same time, I would love to hear what you guys think. Do you think Kanye is just absolutely off the rocker and he's just like scratching the wall for any attention he can grab? Or do you feel as though he's completely justified in the way that he's acting towards everybody because everybody, in a sense, turned their back on him when things got a little bit difficult? Let us know in the comments. Also, make sure you like and subscribe. It's your boy BREAD Fox, reporting from the Chicks Universe. And as always, till next time.
All right. All right, man. All right, so look, let's have a real conversation. And I want y'all to understand something that I think that the black man or the black male in America is going through. Kanye West is a science project of the industry that went wrong. I want y'all to follow me. He is a science project that went wrong in the industry. He's kind of like, if you ever see Westworld, when Maeve woke up and realized she was a robot. You know what I'm saying? She got shot and she seen a bullet in her. She realized they were being manipulated. Kanye West is a science project of the industry that basically went wrong. You know what I'm saying? At this point, you can clearly see he's suffering from mental illness. I am one of those people that say he is an attention whore, but I also have to understand that he is suffering from some type of mental illness. And I think that when it comes to black men in America, we don't ever, ever, ever want to talk about that. We only want to talk about anybody else outside of black men having mental illnesses or some type of mental disability or mental, mentally unstable. We don't want to talk about that when it comes to black men. We only give that grace to everybody else. Everybody else. And I mean everybody else. We give everybody else a chance. We give everybody else some type of a leadway. But when it comes to black men in America, we don't. We don't. And Kanye West is no exception. He's doing all this for attention. He needs help. He needs help. That's it. Like, I understand that people monetize off of Kanye West. I understand that people take what he says and they run with it. But just listen to how he talks. But we're so quick to go after black men in America. We're so quick with it. So quick. Nobody wants to actually sit down and say, hey, maybe we need to see if we can get this man some type of help. And I know he's a grown man, and I know that it's difficult to help grown people. But all of these different people out here, these different black leaders, how come they're not sitting down talking to Kanye and saying, hey, listen, I think what you're doing is wrong? Everybody's saying, well, I'm going to stay away from Kanye. But you still have to understand that Kanye is still a black man. Why is it that if you disagree with one subject from this black man, why do we always run to the other side? I thought we were supposed to be here to protect each other. What happened to that? You don't see this in any other race but ours. You don't. If there's somebody in another race that doesn't agree with the other, their people politically, and something happens, they still there for them. They're still there. Some type of way they're there. Or they have programs that's there for them. But for some reason, when it comes to us, because we don't agree with certain things that Kanye West did or have done, we want to stay away from him. You know what I'm saying? And I think maybe that's the reason why he has an issue with so much stuff, because he has nobody. And again, I'm not for leaving my people out there. I don't care if they disagree with me politically. I'm not for that. Y'all might be for that. I'm not. I'm not. You know what I'm saying? When shit hits the fan, is you still a fan? That's how I look at it. Because I'm not going to agree with everything you do, but I can agree with this, though. Right here. Right here. I can agree with that. I ain't one of those people. I'm not one of those people, the skin folk, not kinfolk. No, we all kinfolk. That's how I look at it. I don't agree with all my cousins. I don't even like all my cousins. But we still family. That's how I look at it. Y'all might not look at it that way, but then y'all point the finger at everybody else and try to say, oh, these people are not good, but you kick your own people out. I'm not agreeing with that. Nah, that's not me. No, you at the wrong channel. The king ain't doing that. You know what I'm saying? The king ain't doing that. My family consists of liberals, conservatives, progressives, whatever. That's my family consists of. You think I'm going to shut my family out? Absolutely not. We'll argue in our confines together. That's what we will do. You know what I'm saying? And if I don't agree with you, then I don't agree with you. But that's what we have to do. We have to protect our own, even if we don't like it, because we ain't going to like everything that these people do. We can't shut out our own because they don't do that. They don't do that. Simple as that. They don't. We the only ones that do that. The only ones. You know what I'm saying? We look at it like this is the enemy. Nope. And that's what I'm saying. I rag on Kanye and I get on him and I say he's an attention whore and all this stuff, but I do understand that he needs some help. He do. He needs some help. And I think we should do our best to try to get him some help. This man has been suffering for years. And what have we done? A good portion of us still support him. But a lot of us sit here and say all these things about him. I think what he does is stupid and egregious. I think some of the things he do is me. I deleted all his music. But that has nothing to do with him getting help. That's all I'm saying. So thank y'all for joining me. I appreciate y'all for being here with me. You know what it is. So look, man, make sure you go over to Torture Talk after hours and subscribe. I'll be doing some things over there sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, man. Thank y'all for being with me today. And I'll see y'all a little bit later. All right, peace, bye. 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 All right, peace, bye.